Good day, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well and you're enjoying the apocalypse quarantine situation that's going on. We have been doing pretty well here at this place. I would like to say the timing was, serendipitous on our point for moving out into the middle of nowhere. We've been doing a lot of family projects, as you can see, cleaning up this, making little tiny paths, and doing our best Laura Ingalls Wilder impression for Little House on the Prairie. So, Apocalypse is doing pretty good for us. Hope everything's going well for you guys. Everybody's staying safe. Thought I'd give you some updates about this shop, and one of the things that was really bad was this guy right here. Was this seal was bad, completely rotted, completely done, so I had to replace that. I was getting water in both corners up here and just flooding the shop, so essentially I had to replace that. So little tiny maintenance things here and there, but let's go take a peek at what's changed, and I have a feeling you're gonna see a lot of things that are different. So, of course, beard and mustache on point for those who remember that. And if you remember from way back before, there was some sheathing back here, and it kind of went up to the ceiling, which is 12 feet ceilings, and what we have found is that it's just this really thin sheathing stuff, and it was garbage. It was garbage, so it had to go. So what I've started doing is putting up hardwood plywood. It looks good, the hardwood stuff. It's a little pricey, I get it, but to be honest, I think it looks good. Plus, it's structural as well, so you don't necessarily always have to go to a stud if you want to put something light. But if, of course, if you're putting up something heavy, of course you want to put it to the stud. We've got one of our heaters here. We've also got a heater way over. Yeah. So, brand new acquisition was this guy here, the Jet Bandsaw, at 13-inch resaw capacity, which has been pretty cool. Also, if those of you keen folks noticed, this entire wall is brand new, and I needed a miter saw station, and this has been my practice area for what's to come for future repairs for the home and kind of updating that sort of thing. So. This is a current project that I'm working on. These are some wood. This is oak. This is solid white oak. And these are legs for the back of a chair. A friend of mine asked me to make him a couple of these, so there's going to be 2 of these. And they're pool table chairs, essentially. And that's the back of it. And getting some storage made. This is red oak that I put in here, so nice little spot for all my chisels. And a really old plane. This is a 1930s Bailey 7C. And also we've got storage down here, plus our soft close drawers. That one's just a smidge tight, but this is my first attempt at making doors, so you got to give me a little bit of slack because this is my first attempt at making them. But here's a same deal with the soft close feature. And my wife says to me, why do you need such a big table? This is 6 feet from left to right, and then another 3 feet on that side. Well, this is why. You see, this is a 7-foot board. Well, it was actually 10 feet until I chopped it off. And yeah, you really do need that much room to be able to really get a chance to get a flat board. Plus, what's nice here is if I put the bandsaw here, I've got myself a built-in runoff table that allows some boards to, if I need to, just put a little stand and they can just whoosh, right there and don't fall off. So that's one thing. This, I'll admit, was a failed project. I mismeasured for a project for her birthday. So I get myself a shelf that I made. So many of you saw this. This is had some leftover scraps for a sanding disc station. It's movable. You can walk around with it. That's the idea behind it. This is a miter station coming along pretty good. And then this is a mortar serd that I just picked up from a friend who wasn't really needing it anymore. So I thought, oh, what the hey, I'll take it off your hands. He gave me a pretty good price, so can't argue with that. But this is permanent. This is permanent in place. However, everything else, every other tool in the shop right now is on wheels. So the bandsaw on wheels. That thing moves around. The drill station with drill bits and a bunch of other things that are in there. The router station, all on wheels, as you can see. And now keep moving along. Made these little you know, had scraps laying around. And there's my metal bandsaw, and then also a jet jointer that I got from a friend who did some work and trade. Thing has been really good so far. Used it a lot, and probably gonna need some new blades because I've been using it so dang much. But that's also on wheels, and this thing is pretty darn heavy. I don't know exactly how heavy, but it's cast. The whole thing is cast iron. I refinished it a little bit so that at least the plane jointing bed is pretty smooth, and the knives were pretty sharp, so that's not a big deal. And if you run up here, again, plywood theme running through the bit, and the reason is, again, it's structural, it looks good, and it cuts down a lot of the noise that we've got going on. So up here, I got myself some clamp station. A lot of the clamps are in use right now, and I'm starting to understand when people say you can never have enough clamps, because holy cow, they're totally right. So the issue that I'm running into is if you notice, it's kind of dirty. I don't have any dust collection at the moment, and this guy, I don't even think, it's so old, doesn't even have a provision for dust collection, and it makes little puddles like this of whatever it is you're doing. So that's an issue. So what we got going on here, we're going to start wrapping around as we start getting more pieces of plywood. But I did find a way to mount the dual battery Makita, even though it doesn't have any provisions for little slots in the back, like, you know, every other one on the planet. So I did figure out a way to mount that to a board. Got another one here because we've got a couple Makita tools that use a lot of power, and I've got 6 or 8 of these 5 amp hour batteries. But holy cow, it's you know, you still cycle through them quite a bit. So there's our second heater up there. We've got cold storage up there, and then the cabinets have been mounted, and kind of again, here's my planer, also on wheels, and then we kind of move into wood storage. And one of the things that is on the list, so give me some slack. I've only been here since November, had to move in and do a bunch of yard work and other things too, but I'd like to so plywood on the bottom, and then do my hardwoods up here, and then kind of do some random offcuts up here, because you'll notice that's the Corvette cover. Corvette is gone. It's it's now put into good use. So random nuts and bolts over there, but also you know, trying to organize as best I can. Keep wood scraps on this side, and then like good large pieces here. For now, I've got my good wood sitting. Don't get cute with that. Sitting here on some pallets just to try and keep it straight and off the ground. But I'd like to get some, you know, some shelving here, and here after, you know, this part gets all the wood paneling put in. So I've got some hard maple sitting back, or excuse me, there's a big board of maple back there. Also got some black walnut in here, which goes to my current projects, which you may like. So this is the little lady's desk. She wants to have something custom made. So this is actually the same board that was resawn in half, and then both ends were married together to create this neat little pattern. And you'll see when I'm done what's going on. I have a oak table, a small oak table that's going to be matching the chairs from over here. This is the top of it, and got a bunch of cawls on it right now just to keep it nice and flat. But this is going to be, I think this is going to work out pretty nice. There's a lot of projects going on all at the same time. Lots of tools, but also one of the things that I've been doing is, if we follow this way, go out to the backyard here, under the lean-to, as you will see, one of my new favorite pastimes is chopping wood. We've got a fair amount of trees on the property that we have a rule, and the rule is don't cut down anything that isn't about to die or, you know, dangerous in some way. So try and leave all the living trees, because we've got quite a few. And right now I did fell this one right over here because it was showing mushrooms, and it was going to die eventually. The mushrooms start to take over those birch trees. So I've been slowly chopping this up. And you know what? It's been a great apocalypse project, just chopping some wood. Kind of in your own head for a while. It feels pretty good. So this is the kind of the back of the lean-to, but this has been my kind of apocalypse project. So we're November. We've been out through November, right? Don't look at that. That needs to be goes to the burn pile. So quite the change from last you saw of the shop, and of course there's going to be more changes as well. But you know, all in all, I think it's starting to come along pretty good. I think there's a good workflow here. I do need some dust collection. That is a major thing I need to do. I did find a decent supplier of black walnut. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to make some cool stuff out of that. But those are the big three projects going on at once. We've got some tables, 2 chairs, a small table that goes with the chairs in white oak, and then also a black walnut desk for the missus. And we'll start to kind of update things as we go, but for the most part, I think we got a pretty good flow. Things are on wheels. That really helps to move things around if I want to clean, but right now I think dust collection is a priority and getting these 3 projects out the door. So I got to finish up the miter station, but coming along pretty good, I think. And thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Hope everybody has a great rest of your quarantine, and good luck.